Okay, this is day two. This is Scallion Pancakes. So first, I'm explaining right now how we're gonna make the dough. So basically, I'm gonna use that pot right there, my roommate's pot. Thank you, Nick, for that pot. Am I recording on my webcam or on my microphone? It's the mic. Okay, Jesus. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, thanks, Nick, for the pot. And I'm just measuring out 2 cups of flour here, and I'm boiling water to do a quarter, 3/4 cups of water because you need hot water to make this dough. Um, so when I'm doing that, I'm gonna be going over just not a different topic, but a more in-depth topic of what I did last time. I wanted to go over the diversity of actual Chinese food in China and how it's not reflected in Chinese American food, or how the evolution of Chinese American food kind of limited the diversity of food in China. Excuse me. And so basically, it started by obviously the Chinese immigrants coming over in the mid 1800s that I talked about last video, and integrating the like Chinese cooking styles and whatnot with the American palate and American ingredients and stuff like that, and how the birth of now what we see, like in every town there's a Chinese restaurant, the birth of that essentially. Um, and then the big thing I really wanted to hit on was how a lot of what Chinese American food is, or a lot of what still today people think Chinese food is actually Cantonese food. So a lot of food from Shanghai, from Hong Kong, and stuff like that, because early Chinese immigrants were basically all Cantonese. They all spoke Cantonese. They were all from the south, and that's what the I'm just rolling the dough there. I'm showing you what it should look like. Um, and they're all Cantonese, and so a lot of the and China is a big country with lots of different dialects, lots of different people, lots of different food, and it's not reflected. It wasn't reflected in early immigration, so it wasn't reflected in what laid the foundation for Chinese American food, and that's why it is the way it is today, and has been. Look at that dough. That was like about probably 10 minutes of kneading, all compressed into like 10 seconds. But yeah, that's what that was. So a lot of, especially where I'm from, or where my parents are from, my dad is from a small village near Wuhan in the Hubei province, and that doesn't like when you if you meet somebody from Hubei, that's like oh, you're from there too. It's like not many people in North America are immigrate from there, so the food is like you can't even find restaurants from that regional, and like places like Sichuan, which is starting to get more popular with their spicy heavy use of like spices and or like the chili peppers and stuff, and even places like just south of like northern China, in the mountains, like in Tibet. I don't even know. Should I be calling is Tibet? I don't know what to. There's some political stuff going on, but they have good food. So, like in the western China as well, that food is pretty damn good. But you don't really see it here, or it isn't called Chinese food here. Um, and so I didn't read the entire book, but I was looking at a book called Chop Suey, the story of Chinese food in America. Um, and this is me finishing the dough. I'm putting the fridge to rest, and here we go. We're back. I went to the gym, I think, and then I came back, and the dough looks nice and ready, and we're just gonna divide it into nice pieces that you can roll out for scallion pancakes. Um, I read part of this book called Chop Suey for this, and it just it basically said that Chinese food was exotic but accessible. A lot of like non like people that weren't Chinese that came to dine at these Chinese establishments earlier in time wanted like things that they'd never seen before, but also wanted the taste to be the same. Hence the over sweet sauces and the fried like emulsified like thick sauce and everything that made everything together. And I think chop suey is a great example of that. A dish homogenizing of all these ingredients thrown around that are commonly found in North America, but um, like mixing them all together, stir frying them, and then combining them in this like thick like corn slurry esque sauce, or not sauce, but but it's a corn slurry like mixture to make it thicker, something that doesn't really happen in Western cooking, to bring out that exotic side, even though it's actually just fried dough and like chicken and vegetables and everything just thrown together. Um, and yeah, uh, on the same level as that, Chinese food was a lot of the time like cheap and quick, which is true for obviously some foods in Chinese culture. But for a lot of the time, if you want to go to like a Chinese restaurant, like in Toronto even, or I mean, yeah, like in Toronto, if you want to go to like a Chinese restaurant, like a sit down restaurant, it would be like it would take a pretty long time for the food to come out because the Chinese cooking, a lot of it requires so many steps. And the only reason that Chinese American food is so simplified and is seen to be quick and easy and like almost like a takeout option is because of the early economic struggles, the cutoff in immigration, the stereotypes, and eventually it became like, oh, Chinese food is just a quick, we'll just get some Chinese tonight. That's what it became. Even though in all different regions of China, cooking is so complicated and it requires so many steps. That's not true for this dish. Honestly, I picked a bad dish for this example. This is literally, the dough is two ingredients, and then I just made a roux type thing with equal parts flour and vegetable oil, and I want to paint that on top of the dough. And now I'm just rolling the dough out with my makeshift rolling pin slash my rice vinegar bottle. And that's it. I'm gonna paint the scallions and that oil flour mixture, and then roll it up and then press it down and fry it. And that's basically the entire recipe. Um, but that's basically all I wanted to get to is the diversity of Chinese food and why it isn't reflected in Chinese American food, because somehow, no matter where you go, the Chinese American like restaurant always has the same, like the chow mein or chow mian, and the fried, like the same fried rice, and they have like the egg rolls, and they have chop suey and General Tso's chicken, which isn't even Chinese, but that's again, that's what that's it's not China. It's like it was made in America, but it became a staple in Chinese American cooking, and that's what I'm trying to get at, is the difference between Chinese food and Chinese American food, and the evolution of Chinese American food, and how that became a staple in Chinese American culture. The goods and the bads. I feel like I've been talking about a lot of bads. It's its own. It's a good thing in its own, because it established Chinese businesses, like the restaurants. Chinese people had more of a more outreach, even though the foods were heavily stereotyped. It was quick and easy. It was this, and the racism was still there. I think it did help a little bit, but obviously it also came with its own problems. Further stereotyped Chinese people. It made it look like the food is it's greasy, it's unhealthy, it's blah blah. Here's a picture of the pancakes that I made and fried them up. Hopefully I have a picture of, yeah, there we go. There's me. There's me in my slippers frying the scallion pancakes, and there it is. That's it. So I'm finished talking now. And I think next week is homemade dumplings. Those didn't turn out well, but I hope you stay tuned for that. Thank you.